So before this video begins, I do want to say I do not support the actions of what happened in the GD's moderators chat leak. I do not support leaking of any type, but in this scenario, I understand why people did it. I understand why, but one thing I do not understand is why this is not getting enough attention to begin with. This is not okay, and it's clearly obvious that these people are trying to cover it up as fast as possible so people won't speak out about their actions and what they have done. And this video is going to be mainly targeted towards GD Cullen, and it's hard for me to say that because he's actually one of my favorite GD YouTubers. I do not support his actions by any means necessary. He's trying to avoid accountability as much as possible, and yes, we're going to get into that in a bit, but I genuinely think that he is obviously being awful about it, and that he just won't actually talk about what he has done in the video that we are going to talk about. Overall, I just think that in general, he should clearly make a response video for what has been said instead of talking shit the entire time. We can all see that he's capable of talking shit, but can you actually respond with some level of decency, as we are actually talking about something extremely harmful to not only your career, but overall what has been done in the Mott chat logs, and you enabling Viprin for being a pedophile and allowing him to stay in the community that is full of underage minors. At myself at the time, I was an underage minor, and obviously knowing about it. So please say something. And alright, obviously, before we end this off, this intro segment, I do want to say, do not harass anyone that I speak about in this video. I want to clearly state that I do not support harassment by any means necessary, and this video is clearly protected by fair use. Do not harass anyone that is mentioned in this video. Alright, let's get started with the video. Hello everyone. So this week I was supposed to make a video about slop tubers, but something else came up that I think deserves a better video than slop tubers. And it is about the YouTuber, personally one of my favorite Geometry Dash YouTubers, GD Cullen. Now, the reason why I'm bringing him up is because he is defending a pedophile. Not because of him being a pedophile, but because he is, and I'm gonna say this with very, very used terms, just working here. All of these tweets that I'm just gonna show here, are obviously gonna be from the actual GD Cullen Twitter account, and you know it's going to be one of those videos. I do want to get this out of the way. I have zero bias in this video. I don't have any bias with the videos I'm gonna mention in this video, and I don't have any bias with GD Cullen. All I am going to say is I go where there is evidence. And all GD Cullen has done is shown zero evidence. Hello everyone, it's me again. I do want to say in the past take, I try to go over all the evidence. I did an extremely, and I mean extremely poor job of going over anything. I was talking way too slowly, and overall I feel like it just wasn't up to my standards, so I apologize for that. So right now, I'm going to go over all the evidence again, and this Google Doc was made by Mohammed Jakim Al-Abdul. Abdullah. So if it was not thanks to him, I would not have access to this and all the evidence here. And of course, I'm going to link his channel and the videos to go over everything in the description. So if you have not watched any of these, I would suggest you do. I would recommend watching them in general. So if we go right here, right, this is the first evidence, all of them. As you can see, a lot of people are outraged and such, so I'm going to go over it. GD moderators are not allowed to criticize the game. If RobTop does something bad, they are not allowed to speak negatively about it, or else they face demotion. They are meant to be representatives of RobTop, and as such, they end up echoing his views. You know, that's a pretty interesting rule to have in general. So I'm gonna start reading this here. I wasn't gonna interact with anything about this, but I feel like the final sentiment is terrible. Avoid speaking negatively public about the game should never be a rule, in my opinion, as long as it is done maturely and constructively. They should be allowed to hold opinions publicly. Then here comes a big colon here. Let me get into character. We can promise you no one takes this rule seriously, unless it's like mass slander to destroy Genie's reputation for whatever reason. I'm like one of the biggest Genie haters out there, but it comes from a place of love. Colon, how do you justify Rob not account banning Advi? He should have way back then, but if he suddenly did it now, it would start a massive war with the Spanish community. So, Advi is a Spanish GD player who got exposed for, being a predator. So, I don't think statute of limitation applies to rape. Oh, it was a rapist, a child rapist. Never mind. I don't know much about this one, so I have no idea. Who cares about the Spanish community would think he's a pedophile. So that's an interesting take from Big Colon here. So let's go on to the next one, shall we? What the fuck? Okay, this one's just a plus. It doesn't mean anything. Discussed by that, but not Vipin for being a pedophile. That's a good one. That was a year ago. Shut the fuck up. And this isn't even about Vipin, dude. What the fuck are you guys talking about? I mean, yeah, it's nice to remind people that Colin has to be held accountable. At this point, I'm kind of wondering, one, why am I being singled out for the 100 other mods on the team? Why is every person wants me to address this doing so via the most rude and vile messages I've ever seen? Dude, if you think this is rude, do not go on Beyond Chat, big guy. You would get flamed hard on that game for the most stupidest reasons, 10 times worse than this for 10 times less of a better reason. And 3, why is the situation only being resurfaced years later? Years later? Oh yeah, I wonder why the situation is being resurfaced years later. I wonder why. It's like we didn't know he was doing it while it was happening or something crazy. It's like only the mod leaks could have told us that he was doing something he wasn't supposed to. Yeah, crazy. It's like we were none the wiser, guys. Yeah. So there's a couple different reasons why you're being singled out, colon. You've made public responses about not caring, saying you only worked there, which we're going to get into in a bit. Not just that, you are being singled out because you have said repeatedly that no matter how much evidence is provided, you didn't cut off Viperin. So yeah, I actually have a clip later where it goes more into detail about that. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But yeah, I feel like you're being singled out for a good reason. I mean, there's a couple different reasons why, but those are the couple main ones, honestly. Also, another thing, you haven't even talked about it publicly. You've said multiple times that you're on the side of Viprin. So you're kind of an accomplice to it in a weird way. Oh wait, what is this? Ah, fuck. I'm gonna have to get really close. There's a difference between I have to tolerate him since I want to help the community by being a mod, and being a mod means I have to interact with Vipin and we are friends, and I don't want to do anything about that even after learning all the info. Ooh. B, of your poor initial response combined with the fact that you are a huge figure in the community, I do believe that any person that keeps being active friends with Vipin after that situation should be held accountable. Not only you, too, I do believe that insulting any person in this kind of situation is pointless and stupid. However, my guess would be that people feel betrayed, disgusted, and angry, which makes them spew vile things. 3, the mod chat leak and your initial response before that, no one knew, or at least largely knew, that you were still friends with Viprin. I wouldn't say friends, but you do say friends, though. You actively said friends in the shit. Where is it? You actively said friends. Do not say this shit. Do not. Do not say this shit. What the fuck, dude? Do not say this shit. I've been on pretty good terms with Viprin. So you do still talk with him. So you do still interact with him when you know he is a predator. You're lying. He lied, guys. Crazy. He fucking lied. How could he? So he's either A, contradicting himself, or B, he just lied to everyone, depending on when these messages happened. So good on you, big guy. Good on you, big guy. Wouldn't say friends, but I can see why people would think that I just have contact and talk about GD related matters. I'm no different than any others, and I was a moron for trying to say something before I fully understood what was going on. Okay, that's fair. In summary, my current stance is that, assuming we're going off the same information from late 2023, people are forming crazy conclusions from what actually happened. Some genuinely believe it and just want to do the right thing. Others know it's false, but makes for easy rhetoric. But it is true. We have actual screenshots of it happening. We have everything to prove. It doesn't matter what hypothetical you're going off of. What we do know is that it happened. So why are you talking about assuming we're going off the same information from late 2023? Yeah, but we have more information now to prove that of its legitness. So what's the point of saying going off the information from late 2023? So he just admitted that he doesn't have the same information, or has seen, or just ignored the information we have now to prove even more that Viprin is a bad person. Crazy. And we haven't even gotten to the lolicon stuff yet. That's crazy. Do you have a possible explanation for this? I knew it's sort of an outlier from the main topic, but regardless. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this one's talking about freak behavior through and flu. I'm not denying he said some real shit. I just think it's wrong to slap a permanent label on him, because I really want to believe he's gotten better since this. So you didn't see everything. So He just made fun of people for going after him and for not understanding everything and forming crazy conclusions while he was doing the exact same thing without all the same information. What the fuck? That's some crazy ass contradiction shit right there. Holy shit, dude. He was doing the same thing he was making fun of other people for. You're no better than the people going after you for not making something public. So, sorry, I haven't left this. sorry. I haven't left this horn in a bit. Holy shit. All the stuff I've seen has just been saying or endorsing really bad taste jokes. Which is really bad taste jokes. It was said, Lolly has been said over 3,000 times. What do you mean, bad taste jokes? If I say something 3,000 times, how can you say that's in bad taste? That's no jokes at that point. It was said over 3,000 times. What the fuck do you mean in bad, really bad taste jokes? He really does not know anything that happens. Holy shit, he really does not know much of anything. Lolly was said over 3,000 times, almost 4,000 times. How can you say something is bad taste jokes when it has been said over 4,000 times? Almost 4,000 times. That's not bad taste in jokes. I really do believe that Viper's a fucking lolicon at that point. And messages around younger people, which is 100% wrong, in my opinion. That's not an opinion, that's just having morals there, but I digress. This just makes you a fucking loser, not a lifetime sexual predator. It's a crazy conclusion to jump to. Oh my goodness, Colin, just shut the fuck up at that point. What the fuck, broski? Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, this is holy shit. What? Alright, so I have to say something here. So when you jack off the lollyboard, is it on you? Does that not make you a child predator? I 100% think that lolly porn is a version of CP. It's illegal in the US to harbor lolly hentai porn as it's considered CSAM content under the United States and many other countries. I would think you are a sexual predator if you're getting a felony for it. Anything to defend your favorite pedophile. The messages mostly aren't even jokes, just look at them, and he still dated a 16-year-old as a 21-year-old. Yes, Colin, dating a 16-year-old when you're almost 22 while openly being into little anime children does indeed make you a predator and not deserving of being the head mod for a game predominantly played by kids. How could you possibly come to the conclusion that these are jokes? And no one has even talked about it being said over almost 4,000 times. If I say something 4,000 times, I don't think it's a joke at that point. If it was said like maybe 20 times, not even 20 times, like maybe 5 at most, I would think it was probably bad taste jokes, but 4,000! I don't think it's a joke at that point, big dog. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna move on. At Nelly Pause, at whatever the fuck. I meant that this was a stupid tweet and now people are gonna use it against me for the rest of time. Oh wait, I have to do the fucking nerd accent. Give me a sec. I admit that this was a stupid tweet and now people are going to use it against me for the rest of time. But yes, since this, then I have done research, realized most of this is lies spread by people who simply don't like how GD is being run and see no reason to cut any ties. So, not only did he say that lolly porn is not, if you jack off the lolly porn, it's not considered you being called a lifetime predator, but he doesn't cut off any ties with said person who dated a 16-year-old at 21 and jacks off the lolly porn. Check this man's hard drive now, damn it! What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? What the fuck, dude? You check this man's hard drive now. All right, let's read this one. Said some dumb things related to the situation yesterday, and I apologize. Probably not. This one happened in January. This one happened back in March. So something changed between that time. Something changed. Okay, so this one was the one he was talking. Okay, so this one happened around the same time. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so these two happened around the same time. I should have probably organized these. Oh, this one is like the oldest one. I should probably read this one. Oh, wait, no, we already read this one. All right, so I'm gonna read this one, all right? This rule is so oh, wait, give me a second. This rule is so unenforced that I forgot it even existed, to be frank. It probably just there to fill space, unsure why moderators who love the game more than anything would want to flame it in the first place. If that really is the case, are you able to condemn Viper's pedophilic actions? All right, let me go back here. I think it's quite concerning that you don't seem to know if your higher up is a pedophile. Do you think Viper and Paz's actions represent those of a role model to the community? Do you believe they have followed moderator guidelines? I don't know. I just work here. I've been on pretty good terms with Viper, and I don't like involving myself in drama. In a perfect world, I wouldn't be this ignorant and forgiving, but truthfully, turning against my friends is exhausting and makes me feel bad, so that's where I'm at. So he won't cut off a pedophile because it's exhausting to cut off his friend who was exposed as a predator. Oof, 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 oof. Ooh, 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 yikes. Absolutely yikes. Oh, man. Guys, he just works there, guys. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't keep up with anyone or anything that's going on inside the moderator chat. No, that would be crazy, guys. No, why would I keep up with everything that's going on in the moderator chat? No, no, you're crazy for that. No, no, no. Oh my goodness. That is the worst response that anyone has given to anything I've ever seen before. That's crazy. I'm going to continue reading this one. He was in a relationship with a 21-year-old while he was in a relationship with a 16-year-old while 21 and requested liking lolly porn on his Discord server. Do you think that should be forgiven? No response. In other terms, that means yes, he does, because he also likes to jack off the Hatsune Miku porn. to this is going to please no response to this is going to please people, but this is going response to this is going to please people. But when I hear things like this, the first thing I want to do is dig deeper and hear from all sides. Absolutely horrible if it's true, but the full situation def goes beyond one sentence. I don't know what is and isn't twisted or exaggerated. So this is his most recent response to the drama. What fucking happened? What made you think that he has no reason to cut ties? If this was his response, that's a good response. It's a very good response. It's a decent response. I can't deny. That's how I go about drama situations, and I dig deeper as well. That's why I came to the conclusion that this guy's a fucking idiot and doesn't know how to do anything with drama or anything that he's being accused of. So let's continue. I think it's quite concerning that you don't seem to know if your higher up is a pedophile. Do you think Viper and Paz's actions represent those of a role model to a community? Do you believe they have followed moderator guidelines? Admitting that Viper is a... Oh, man, I wish I could read that. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. Wait, this is gonna be good. I don't fear demotion because I trust it will only happen for a valid reason. Valid and fair reason. I just didn't realize how fucking stressful this would be, so I'm stepping back unironically for the sake of my own mental health. I was stupid to think I could try and be transparent. Brother, defending lolly porn and a person that dated a 16-year-old while 21 is not trying and being transparent. That's you almost being as bad as them, but skip the actual part of doing it. The second worst thing you can do in a situation like this is defend the person and still keep in contact with the person that is doing the awful shit. So if I was in your situation, what I would do is not say publicly, hey, I'm not going to talk to Viper until I understand everything about the drama. And I'm going to tell you guys what my conclusion is when I research and talk to all sides. That is what I will do. I'm going to do the research on the person that's being accused first. Then I'm going to talk, since I probably have contact with said person, I'm going to talk to Viper and understand what the fuck is going on. That's what I would do. That's what I would say publicly. You literally dug yourself a deep ass grave for this. All you need to do is fill in the dirt. And then we move on to here where we already read all this, right? His position basically boils down to, I don't know a lot about this and I refuse to look into it deeper and come to any conclusion, because if I do, I will either look like shit to Viper's haters or I will have to leave the mod team. It's pure spineless cowardice. And his response is yes. His response is yeah. So he admitted to being a spineless coward because he doesn't want to make any side upset, because he can have an opinion on his own. Grow some ball sacks, dude. Come on now. Realized he fucked up, says sorry, doesn't address what he said, doesn't take accountability or responsibility, will probably still hang around GD Epstein when your goat finds out your wash. I wish it was... Oh, wait. I wish it was easier to resolve, but taking accountability would mean stepping down from mod and cutting ties with several people who have otherwise been mature around me. It's a very big and uncomfortable step that I'm frankly scared to make. You act like it's easy. It is very easy. Just say, hey, I'm stepping down. Fuck all of you. And Audi 5000. That's what I would do. I would have some balls and do that. But honestly, man, and not everyone could be like that, and I understand that. Tear down anything I work towards because of peer pressure or being called a predator, pedophile defender, which on Twitter just means mass harassment and threatening becomes justified. I've considered all the options and Frenching generally causes the least harm. I am sorry. At least he says he's sorry. To give credit where credit is due, at least he apologized. At least he said, I am sorry for fence sitting. Not many people in this predicament would do that, and I give credit to him for at least saying, I am sorry. I gotta give slight bit credit where credit is due. I'm a fair and just guy. Gotta give credit where credit's due. And plus, I gotta get any W for this guy because there is not much here. I'm sorry, but there's not much here. There is not that much here. I'm sorry, big dog, but there's not that much here. You got one W out of 26 different L's, alright? Sent some. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure this was supposed to. Yeah, that was supposed to go before it. Said some dumb things related to the situation yesterday, and I apologize. Probably not going to say much more about this because every post only digs a deeper hole. If you're wondering why nobody ever gives statements, this is why. It's just stressful and feels impossible. Yeah, feels impossible, but is it impossible? No, you never said it is impossible. You just said it feels impossible. So what you can do is, say something about it, because even though it feels impossible, I would recommend just saying, hey, I'm sorry for not doing proper research. I'm sorry for not knowing that Viprin did these awful things. And I am no longer going to be communicating with him. Just say that. Quick, easy, and humble. All you gotta do. And also add on, sorry for saying these stupid and erratic things. I was in major panic mode for everything that was happening. Dude, I am giving you free PR right now. You fucking take it, or else your career is probably going to be over and this is going to be a stain on your career. Just say, hey, I am sorry for saying and doing all this stupid shit. I now realize that fence sitting was not the best option. I will be no longer keeping in contact with Vipin. All you could have said. That's all you could have said, and everyone would be like, oh, okay, yeah, fair enough, and such and such. All you had to say. But no. No, you didn't want to do that. Honestly, this entire fucking thing is so stupid. All you could have done was say, hey, sorry for fence sitting. I have now cut off Viprin, and I am sorry for all the insensitive things I said before. All you could have done was make a quick and easy response, talking about it, saying I'm no longer in contact with Vipin and I do not condone all the actions. But no, you made it 10 times worse for you, and you're not really doing any favors for big old Vipin. I mean, he's struggling over there. Like, holy hell. And honestly, all of this was really fucked, honestly. Like, extraordinarily fucked. I'm gonna link Mohammed Jaklim Al Abdullah. I'm gonna keep that in. That was the best attempt I got. And of course, I'm gonna link all of the stuff to that he. Of course, I'm gonna link all this. Well, the videos, not this. Of course, I'm gonna link the GD Cullen video sources and the videos that he did, including that GD Cullen is a spineless coward. In the description, you can watch it for yourself, and he goes over it way better than I could. So give him a subscribe, give him a follow, and most importantly, Colin, you could have done way better than all of this, honestly. Hello, everyone. It's me again. After editing and redoing the going over the evidence segment, GD Colin has finally made a response, and it's okay, I guess. It's a response like I've been asking while I was recording before. So let's read it, and we're going to go over Muhammad's reaction to it, and I'm going to give my reaction after I get done reading this, all right? After I get done reading both. So, yeah, let's get started, shall we? I understand people. I'm not gonna do the voice because that's just gonna hurt my voice while reading this. I understand that. Here, let me do this. I understand people want a statement, but I've been very worried about nothing I say will ever. I'm worried nothing I say will ever satisfy anyone. It feels like everyone has made up their mind, so anything I say just adds more fuel. But I'll do my best to communicate how I feel about this. It feels much more important and meaningful to do this than stay quiet and try to let things pass like some friends have been telling me to do. Know that I never supported any of the messed up stuff Vipin has done, even if my poor wording made it sound like I did. It's extremely inappropriate behavior from someone who was co-running the game, and that goes without saying. At most, I was downplaying the severity of his actions, as I wasn't sold on everything, but I recognize that was very stupid of me, so I'm sorry. I spent most time defending what I thought he didn't do than condemning what I knew he did, and that's inexcusable. Okay, so far, halfway, a little bit under halfway through, I gotta give credit where credit is due. He is apologizing for downplaying the severity of what was said and going on. I can give credit for that. Was it right to wait at least 2 to 3 weeks to say something like this? No, but at least he's saying it now. As the saying goes, better late than never. All right, but let's continue. Truth be told, I was trying to defend myself more than him, but did a terrible job. To this day, I still don't entirely know why everyone was trying to drag me specifically into this situation when no other person was held to this standard. I was being urged to resign from moderator out of protest because of someone higher up that I barely speak to. It makes no sense. The eyes shouldn't be on me. Well, when you make terrible responses to something, people tend to go after the person who makes the worst response, and you just happen to be that person. It's how the internet goes. If you make a terrible reply or response to something this severe, then the internet is going to go after you more and more until either A, you quit the internet and this community, or B, you make a good response. And hopefully this is a good enough response to kind of quench the urges of the internet somewhat, at least. This is all I was ever trying to say, and if it somehow still makes me a bad person, I urge you to respectfully help me understand that logic and what I can do differently. I want to be a good person and will listen to your concerns, but the vast majority of people upset with me were engaging in the most vile and hurtful ways possible. Calling you a dumbass is not the most vile and hurtful ways. That's a bit misleading. I don't know what was going on in your DMs. Maybe someone was trying to dox you because of it. I don't know. But for the majority of things, people were just concerned that you were just saying the most dumbass answers to the most simplest questions. It seems a bit misleading, but I'll humor it. Let's see here. It sucks that they think it's okay to act that way once a person is deemed problematic. And aside from destroying me mentally over the past few months, it just made me afraid to respond. But again, maybe I did this to myself. To answer that question, Colin, you kind of did. You gave a couple of bad answers, and when you said back up here, you were downplaying the severity of his actions. When you say something that is so far off of the mark while downplaying a severity of, let's say, someone's actions of pedophilia, people are going to tend to go after you for it. It's just how the internet works, especially in the drama sphere. It's clear that you haven't experienced much drama or a drama like this in your career that is semi-connected to you like this. So I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. He did not know that the internet would react like it. And you got to understand that not everyone has the mind for handling drama. Like a lot of drama slop tubers and or people who deal in this sphere. And clearly he is not built for it. So it's understandable why he didn't understand a lot of the obvious tells in drama, Twitter, and internet stuff. So let's go back. And aside from destroying me mentally over the past few months, it just made me afraid to respond. But again, maybe I did this to myself. Also, please don't support the people in this community who keeps resurfacing, twisting, and dragging this kind of drama. Resurfacing, twisting, and dragging this type of drama. I feel like I can see the reason why you think it's resurfacing, twisting, or dragging, but I feel like that's also a bit misunderstood on your part as well, as wanting people to respond to their bullshit actions. It's a lot less resurfacing, twisting and dragging. Resurfacing, yes, and it was resurfaced for a good reason, but twisting and dragging is a bit off. It's a bit off from what was going on here. They're not good people, okay? I mean, if you don't really explain how they are not good people, then that just seems a bit, it just seems a bit, no, I don't think they are bad people. I feel like you just got handed the shit end of the spoon here. And so you're thinking that they are bad people when in reality they are just broadcasting some mildly interesting drama here. They're not bad people. They're not bad people, but I wouldn't say they're good people either. I'll call them more anti-heroes in the sense. Not good people who get unjustly mad at random things. Unjustly mad at random things. Yeah, getting mad at someone for not reacting. You literally said earlier that you were downplaying the severity of his actions, and now you're saying that they're getting mad at unjustly random things? I feel like you got a bit confused there. You literally said earlier that you were downplaying the actions of Viperin, and now you're saying they're random things? Okay. A bit of a bad choice of words there, big guy. Yeah, I honestly, the more you kept going, honestly, that's the first major thing I found here. He's saying that pedophilia is random things and think the only solution is getting as many other people mad as possible. We're better than this, guys. So getting mad at a person saying bullshit answers at a severe thing that happened to an individual is getting unjustly mad at random things. Honestly, if we just could have cut out, like this part here, I think the response would have been 10 times better if we kept this in. I honestly feel like this kind of ruins all of this up here. I understand some of the points he's trying to make. Do not get me wrong. I feel like in his entire YouTube career, he has not understood how drama works. He's not that type of person, and I understand that, and I understand some of the points and where his mind is at. But if you're saying pedophilia and people who are trying to get people to understand the actions of someone, and you go and say the most obscene bullshit possible about the said thing that is resurfacing, then honestly, I feel like if you just said nothing, none of this would have happened. Honestly, none of this shit would have happened if you would just not responded to any of the comments of Vipin, about Vipin in general. That is where my mind is at. And now when you did do that and people got mad at your answers, you're saying they're unjustly mad at random things where you clearly said some of the most weird bullshit possible. You're out of your mind, dude. I feel like you just completely contradicted your entire apology to make yourself look like more of a victim. That is awful. This is a bad response. This is a terrible response to the entire thing. And honestly, I am glad I did not fully edit my video before this came out. This is an awful response. He contradicted his entire points. He said that the people who are exposing this are bad people when they just want to be held to hold content creators and their mutuals to a certain standard, so we know they are not bad people. All we want is a standard where we know a content creator is bad or not. And when you say people are getting mad at the most unjustly random things, they are actually getting mad at you responding to a severe thing that's going on. Dude, this is a terrible response. The more and more I decompile it here. So you say you never support any of the stuff Vipin has done, and yet you never said that you cut him off. He never said he cut him off for the actions that Vipin has done. Okay. Interesting. I like how he said inappropriate behavior from someone who's co-running the game. That part is the most interesting part. So he's condemning the actions of Vipin, but he's semi-defending himself and Vipin's actions for people bringing up the stuff that he did to not be a part of the game that's full of minors. So I'm kind of confused here now. Are you condemning Vipin, or are you still in support of Vipin? He's still fence-sitting. He hasn't learned anything, and he's just apologizing to get the shit off his back, which, to be frank, is a semi-good response. No, semi-good thing to do to condemn Vipin, but he has not learned anything from what we've been yelling at him. All we want you to do is condemn Vipin and cut him off. And say that publicly. Say, I do not fuck with Vipin anymore. I am cutting him off. That's all we want you to hear. And we'd be like, finally, he gets it. Let the other people fill in the pieces in his head. Let the audience fill in the pieces in your head to see what else you will do. And all you have to do is do nothing else. All you have to do is, I do not condone Vipin, and I am no longer in contact with him, and we all be good. That's all you had to say. That is all you had to say. But no, you still want Vipin around so you can get your Hatsume Miku lolly recommendations, don't you, Colin? Don't you, Craig, eh? I don't want to say, for legal reasons, that is a joke that should not be taken seriously, and that was legally a joke. And I do not think that GD Colin is a pedophile or a person or individual who likes lolly. Thank you. I have to say that legally, or else I can get sued. So you're not condemning Vipin of his actions, but you're also condemning Vipin for his actions. You're saying the way that the community did it was bad, but we got rid of a pedophile, so how was it bad when you're clearly just mad at your audience for bringing it up so they can get mad at you because you responded poorly previously to it? You're just mad because the community caught on to your bullshit by lying and fence-sitting. This isn't a response. This is you just publicly venting out your frustrations at the community that you have because you kept fence-sitting and didn't want to publicly say you don't condone Vipin's actions and what he did, and you're no longer in contact with him. That's all you had to say. Just make a quick thing that says, I do not condone Vipin and his actions. I am no longer in contact with him. Simple as that. Just could have said that. This whole response is filled with so much fluff, right? It's filled with a little bit of fluff, like 5% fluff, 9% like actual decent wording here. I feel like he did not do this properly. He 100% did not make this properly at all. He did not make this response properly at all. Honestly, all you had to do was say, I do not condone Vipin and the actions he has done. Stop telling me about it, please and thank you. And everyone will be like, okay, good. We don't need to anymore. We got it through his head. That's how the entire internet would react to. But you didn't do that. Man, the internet is going to eat you alive for this one, dude. I'm being so dead ass about this. The internet is going to eat you alive with this one. So yeah, that's his response. And yeah, I forgot to read Muhammad's response to the GD thing. After 2 weeks of implicitly calling people who agree with my video morons, calling me a loser, playing victim, downplaying the situation, making up lies, etc., etc., he finally issued an apology that's not hollow and has somewhat denounced Vipin, which is good. However, with that said, there is a lot to be desired with this statement, and also a lot of problems with it that simply don't align with reality. But for Colin's standards, credit where little credit is due, it's pretty good. And it's hopefully to see him progressing. Although we gotta remember he has made a similar apology back in January, then went right back to his old self in March. So don't take him for his words, take him for his standards. It's also very telling that it had to take him 2 weeks whilst doing the stuff I've mentioned above to finally respond, and the only reason he responded is because of heavy pressure from Twitter, because he tried doing what he did on Blue Sky /Twitter comments. form sympathy. And it backfired hard for him there. He also not addressing his adv comments at all. Also funny how he said at the bottom of his statement, don't listen to the malicious people in this community, talking about me, by the way, which is very funny because if people did that, he wouldn't even be making this statement to begin with, lol. Either way, I'm going to be making a follow-up video addressing all of his responses, including the last one, as I have lots to say that I can't limit to a community post. After that, I'm done with Colin. I know I said my last post would be my last, but he actually is addressing some of the points, so it's worth to bring up again, I think. Then the video will be out in the next couple of days, hopefully ASAP. See you then. I'm gonna make a reply. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way end to the video. And honestly, this was a lot longer than one of my usual videos. I think I did pretty well. Sorry for no background music. Honestly, for this type of video, I feel like it will only dampen the points that I'm trying to make. So honestly, thank you again so much for watching all the way to the end. And now, here are the bloopers of me trying to pronounce Muhammad's channel name. Thank you so much again. Muhammad Shakim Al-Abdul. I think I said that correctly. Abdullah. Al-Abdullah. Al-Abdullah. Muhammad Shakim Al-Abdullah. Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. Abdullah. I'm going to continue trying until I get this. Thank you to Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. Thank you to Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. Dula. It's Dula, not Dubla. Thank you to Muhammad Jacqueline Al-Abdullah. I need to do it Al-Abdullah.